welcome back. Our next talk is from Maarten from Plasm Network, and he's going to tell you how he went from being an enthusiastic follower of the Polkadot ecosystem to actually getting a job and working full-time for a project in the Polkadot ecosystem. For those of you out there who are potentially interested in getting into crypto, I know almost all of the companies and projects and teams within the Polkadot ecosystem are growing rapidly and looking for fresh talent, so pay close attention to what Maarten has to say about how he managed to pull it off. Maarten, over to you.
Okay, great. Thanks a lot for the introduction, Peter. It's amazing to be here. I never expected to be here, actually. First, I would like to thank the community for voting on my proposal to speak here at Polkadot Decoded. Also, a big shout out to Parachains Technologies for creating such a great online event. During this section, I will be speaking to you about how I started as an enthusiast to get a paid position in the Polkadot ecosystem. I'm sure a lot of you who are listening at the moment now to my session are very interested or are looking for to get more involved in the ecosystem. So during this session, I will be first giving you a little bit about myself, about me, and then I will give you 5 tips about how to find your dream job in the Polkadot ecosystem. So my name is Maarten. I'm from Belgium. I'm from Ghent, and I work as infrastructure developer for Plasm and Shader Network. As an infrastructure developer, I'm supporting projects who are building in the Plasm ecosystem and doing the developer support in the Developers Hub on Discord. I graduated in 2003 in computer science and worked for 6 years for an internet provider. After this, I made a completely shift in my professional life and I became actually a primary teacher. And last year, in the summer of 2020, I decided I really wanted to work full-time in the blockchain industry. To talk to you about my blockchain experience, I got about more than 6 years experience active in the blockchain industry. First, it was more like trading. I was looking into projects on Ethereum and Bitcoin and in the ecosystem. Then I did a lot of community support during the ICO hype in 2017. And there were a lot of projects coming onto Ethereum. I did a lot of community support. And through that, I worked for 2 years at a Finnish startup in the blockchain industry. And now from January 2021, I started working for Plasm Network. So how to find your dream job in the Polkadot ecosystem? There are different ways that you can approach to find the job that you want. And during the next 10 minutes, 15 minutes, I will talk to you about 5 tips from my side that actually worked for me. I will share my experience and why I think this can help you to find your dream job. So the first tip I would like to share with you, and for me, this is actually the most important one, is to join a hackathon. This is actually where my journey started in the Polkadot ecosystem, to a hackathon. And hackathons offer the chance for people in the blockchain industry to come together and learn from each other. You can join a team that consists out of people from different backgrounds. I joined the Encode hackathon in November 2020. They were partnered with Polkadot. And before that, I was looking into Substrate and the entire Polkadot ecosystem. So this was actually a perfect chance to learn more and get support from Polkadot as well. So why would you join a hackathon? Actually, the first thing is to showcase your skills. Those skills can go from a little developer work, like programming a little Solidity contract or a little Wasm contract, or can go from graphic design for a platform. And it's also a chance to demonstrate specific skills that you aren't able to showcase anywhere else. Another great feature about a hackathon is you learn about new technologies. And that's actually one of the biggest benefits of attending a hackathon. Getting the new technology, getting the new knowledge, and actually information that is at that moment maybe not find in a classroom or not find in a book. So this is actually a really good experience to learn more about the latest technology. To get the most out of these events during a hackathon is that you can share your ideas to everyone who's willing to share the knowledge. So you actually learn from everyone who's in your team. For example, if you are a security expert, and you can learn from a designer about how to implement their features, and the app designer can learn how to protect personal information better. So it's a great way also to challenge yourself, because you will constantly be challenged and pushed out of your comfort zone, because you are working with a new team to people you don't know. And it's a great way to discover new talents from yourself, can be really rewarding. I think a lot of projects out there come together with people from all kinds of backgrounds, building on something, and then the excitement you get if you can finally release your product. So during the Encode hackathon, actually my first hackathon ever, I joined the Polkadot challenges, and that is when I discovered Plasm network. So I started building a project for the hackathon and learned everything I needed to know. When I learned more about Substrate and Plasm network, Discord was the best place for technical support because the developers were very active there. Also in the hackathon, we had developers from Polkadot there. So every time I had a question, I just had to go to the Discord, the hackathon. And then Forbes was there. He was helping me out in case I got some errors on the project. So that was actually really great to have those people available in case you are stuck with a project or you have a question about the technology. And it's also the best place to get noticed by the team, because you are active, you are engaged with the community, you are asking questions, you are also helping other people with the same questions that you maybe had before. And by being active on Plasm Network Discord with the community and helping new developers and the team quickly gave me an ambassador position inside the ecosystem. And I helped the team building tutorials, helping new developers who want to run validators or nodes, how to deploy smart contracts. So I became very active in their Discord. Another thing I mentioned in this slide is Element. A formerly was known Riot. It's actually one of the favorite communication tools by Web3. They use Element across their organization and to communicate with community members. It's also a great application to get in touch with developers on Polkadot. There's a very active community there on Element, so I recommend you to join those groups. You can find them in the wiki page of Polkadot. So I really recommend them. I recommend you to join those groups there. This brings me to my third tip, becoming an ambassador. Like I was saying in my previous slide, after being active in the Plasm Network Discord, the team gave me an ambassador position. It's a status where you show that you support the project and you know a lot about the project, and actually you will be trusted by the community because the community will see you as part of the team because you are actively part in the community, actively engaged in the community, and that's how you can get the status of ambassador. And as you know, there's a great ambassador program on Polkadot where every community member can apply. And I listed some of the benefits on my slide for being a Polkadot ambassador. Those can be found on the page of Polkadot Ambassador Program. So one of them is the funding. What I mean with this is if you will do a local meetup or workshops, you will be funded by Polkadot. You'll get funding by Polkadot. You will get special access. You will be invited to events. You can join a private channel on Element with all the ambassadors. Free stuff. Everyone is liking free stuff. I see during the Polkadot Decoded in the chat room in the troll box. Oh, I want that shirt. Well, become an ambassador and you will get shirt, hoodies, and so on. So it's a great way to get that Polkadot swag. And through community, you'll be working closely alongside some of the most well-known figures in the Web3 space, in the Polkadot ecosystem. So becoming an ambassador on the Polkadot ecosystem, you will be hanging around with a lot of well-known figures, and it's really great to help build up those connections in the future. For my fourth tip, do your homework, learn the basics. What I mean, learn the project, learn about the language the project is built on, like all the projects now here doing the Polkadot Decoded, they are built on Substrate. And one of those great websites you find is the Substrate Developer Hub. This was actually during the first phase of when I was learning about Substrate, um, one of the most visited websites for me during months. It was always open on my screen because their documentation is very extended with many tutorials from creating your own chain to writing a simple ink contract. And during the first phase, that website really helped me a lot. I'm sure that they will put the link in the chat box as well. So go out, check that website out, start learning about Substrate. That website has all the documentation. Everything you need to know about building on Substrate is there. And do not hesitate to ask for help in case you are doing some tutorial work and you are stuck or you got an error and you don't know how to solve it. Just go to Discord, go to Element or Element channel, just ask, and I'm sure that you will get a response within a half hour, within an hour, because a lot of developers are there and a lot of them are very engaged in helping new developers develop on Substrate. And if you are looking for videos made by Parity Technology that will give you more insight in the Polkadot ecosystem, I can recommend you to join the bi-weekly seminars on Crowdcast. Those seminars are more technical, but really good about understanding all things Substrate related. Those seminars are every 2 weeks on Tuesday. The latest one was last Tuesday, and they were talking about WASM contracts. For me, it was very educating because I really like WASM contracts, the writing in contracts. And Paytrack Labs was there to showcase a demo, and it was really interesting to learn more about the WASM contracts. So, and my final tip, go and find your dream job. There are a lot of ways to find a perfect job for yourself. I found about the position in the Plasm ecosystem on Discord when I saw Sota publishing the application. I immediately applied. It was for a developer function. At that point, I was already an ambassador for the program, so the team knew me, and they were aware of my skills and how I was engaged in the community. After some meetings together, I got offered an intern position in Plasm Network, and this quickly turned out into a part-time job as an infrastructure developer. And as you can see on my slide now, other great resources are LinkedIn. That's something I can recommend you to create a good LinkedIn account. And in this slide, you can see the applications from Web3 Foundation. If you just go to the LinkedIn page of Web3 Foundation, you immediately see 3 open applications where you can apply. And another great thing is I added also the application form there from Parity Technologies, and I went to the website a couple of hours ago, and I was counting all the applications, and there are actually 31 open applications available only for Parity Technologies. So there are a lot of opportunities available. It's just what Peter was saying in the introduction. Substrate is very early at this point, and a lot of projects are building, and they are looking for a lot of people. Even the presentation before me, at the end, he was talking about we are looking for people. So one of those great websites available is .jobs. You also have KSM Jobs. That's actually .jobs is for projects who are building on Polkadot. The other one is for building on Kusama. And you can find all the open applications there about projects who are building now. So like projects like Ocala, Plasm Network, and so on, everything is there. So go and check them out. I'm sure if you are looking for a job as a full-time job in the blockchain industry, I think this is the perfect moment to take that jump and join the ecosystem, Polkadot ecosystem. So I really found my job at the moment. In the summer of 2020, I had a mission to work full-time in the blockchain industry. And currently, I'm actually still working as a primary teacher because I'm part-time infrastructure developer at Plasm Network. But at the end of next month, I will work full-time for Plasm Network because I really wanted to end my school year with my class. So I wouldn't stop in the middle of the year. So I first started part-time after my hours as a teacher. And I actually used the global pandemic now with the COVID. It was maybe a good time for me to educate myself. I just used the time that I was at home during the lockdown. I started using the substrate.dev. I started learning Rust. I started learning Substrate. And actually, that was a perfect timing to learn more about this ecosystem. So if there are any questions, feel free to ask me. If not, I want to thank everyone for listening to my presentation. And I really hope we will meet each other somewhere on the next Polkadot Decoded maybe, or yeah, thank you.
Thank you so much, Maarten. Really incredible. Thank you for sharing your journey and some steps other folks can follow. A lot of good insights in there for people who do want to join crypto full time. And yeah, I would agree that now is a good time. I joined crypto full time in 2018, sort of at the peak of a bull market, and really got into it. We're sort of in that same sort of vibe right now. And honestly,
Yeah, correct.
you know, I find myself here a few years later, and I think you'll find yourself a few years down the line feeling the same way. That was like the right thing to do, and getting fully into this industry is, I have no regrets.
Yeah, I can
have a couple
believe it. I
questions
think for
here.
yourself, it's like your dream job, what you are doing now. I believe so.
It's not bad. It's not bad. Happy to be here with all of y'all. One question here was actually, so what was the most challenging aspect in sort of your journey to get to a full-time role?
Actually, the most challenging part for me was to take the jump into going to full-time blockchain in the blockchain industry. And like I said, it's a difficult space to get started in, especially during now with the crisis and the pandemic. I had my full-time job as a teacher, and to give that up, to give that certainty, to give up like I want to go into the blockchain, but okay, what if the project will fail, or what if after some months I will leave I will be fired, or the project will fail. So it's actually, you have to take that step to, okay, you have to make that decision. Okay, I want to go full time, and then you just have to go. You have to go, educate yourself, learn, and you just know from, okay, I know a lot now, I can go. And I think that was the most challenging part, to make actually that decision from, okay, now I go to my work and I say, okay, after the next month, I will not come back. I will do another job. I think that was the most challenging part, especially now with the pandemic and also, yeah.
Yeah, a couple people in the chat have questions around whether or not you need to be technical. One I'll answer right off the top. Someone asking about learning Substrate and/or Rust. You really need to know Rust before you learn Substrate, because if you're working in Substrate, the language that you're coding in is Rust. So certainly Rust and then Substrate is the path for learning if you're a developer. But then the other sort of question attached to that is, do you have to be technical? And if not, you know, any tips for folks who are maybe not engineers looking to find work? There are jobs sort of across the spectrum at all these teams.
Yeah, that's actually a great question, and I think that is one of the reasons why a lot of people don't go full-time crypto, because they think actually going full-time crypto, you need to be a developer, you need to know how to write code, you need to know how to make a decentralized application. But I can say you don't need to know all this, because I joined the hackathon on Encode, and my programming experience was little. I had a lot of experience in web development, but not actually in Rust or Substrate. And you are right, you first have to need to know Rust before going to Substrate. But you don't need to have that knowledge. Like my knowledge of Rust was actually almost none at the time during the hackathon. I started it to learning it through different stages. But learning about a project like Plasm network, I was learning how to use that project, not learning how to build Plasm network. I was learning how to use that network. Like, how can I deploy smart contracts? How can I deploy my nodes? And how can I help the community in case someone got that token lost or things like that? So I think there are things everyone can do. You just have to take that leap and go for it. And I can guarantee you, you don't have to be a developer to find a job full time in crypto.
Yeah, that includes me. So anyone out there who's looking to do marketing work, public affairs work, communications work, any sort of administrative work, we need all types, all shapes and sizes. Thank you very much, Maarten, for your talk. Everyone will be back in a few short minutes with the last workshop of the day. Thanks.